I found the cheapest way to use SRS and invest in the S&P 500. But this is not a new video. In fact, if you look at just 2 years ago, exactly on year 2022, I published this video and I already gave my reasoning on why I think there are better platforms out there offering cheaper alternatives. But many people were skeptical. They think that I'm just trying to push and shield a particular platform. And yes, I can see where these people are coming from, because from their short-term mathematical calculation, they seem to think that one particular platform is cheaper over the other. So to be fair, in today's video, I will just show you my calculations and I will not make any judgments. You can do the judgment yourself. And of course, this is with the assumptions placed. And I do have referral rewards for both these platforms, Endowus versus Poem's Cash Plus. So whichever platform you sign up for, I will also get rewards. So I'm not pushing one over the other. I'm just going to present my finding. Again, this is not financial advice. You all make your own decision. But if there's something to entice you to sign up this month by the end of February, it's because these two platforms are offering good welcome rewards. For Poems, they are giving free 2x JD shares worth $76 when you make an initial deposit of at least 3,000 Singapore dollars within 40 days of account opening and execute 3 buy trades within 90 days. Then for the higher tier, which is $10,000 deposit, if you do 5 buy trades, you get an additional 2x BABA shares. For Endowus, until the end of this month, you get $68 of fee credit if you sign up via my referral link and invest $1,000. Now, to make things clear, this video is not even sponsored by either of them and is by this company. If you just need one good reason to use Webull, here it is. Webull just launched Singapore stock trading, and this is great news for people who are looking to invest in SGX stocks, REITs, DLCs and ETFs with competitive pricing and advanced trading tools. For SGX pricing, Webull charges 0.025% commission, minimum 80 Singapore cents, and 0.025% platform fee with minimum 80 Singapore cents. Other regulatory fees and GST apply, and for a limited time, new users can get free commission up to 3 years for Singapore stocks trading. You can also use the Webull app to read up on the company profile. Example, on the financials, you can check the earnings release and EPS estimate, key financial indicators like ROA, ROE and net margin, financial statements like income statement, balance sheet and cash flow to help you make better informed investment decisions. Then if you click on press releases, you can check the dividends details like dividends per share, ex-dividend date, pay date, dividend yield and annual dividend. For the current deposit promo, you have to fund at least 2,000 Singapore dollars, fulfill the requirements and you can get up to 2,500 Singapore dollars of Tesla shares. There's another shares transfer in promo where if you transfer shares value at least 5,000 US dollars, fulfill the requirements and get up to 3,000 Singapore dollars of Tesla shares. So don't miss this offer and get your Webull account with my referral link or scan this QR code right here today. So here's the assumption that I'm going to use today. I'm going to use an SRS portfolio of $30,000. That's roughly 2 years of $15,000 per year contribution to the SRS. And why 2 years is because from the previous video of 2022, it is exactly 2 years from there, or 24 months. And let's assume that you invested for 24 months continuously, but you stop at the current month, so no more further investments from today onwards. I'm going to calculate the fees. For Endowus to invest in the S&P 500 at the lowest cost, previously it was Lion Global Infinity US 500, but now with Amundi Prime US, which also tracks the top US companies, even though it's not S&P 500, it is a much more cost-effective option at 0.05% per annum expense ratio, coupled with the Endowus management fees of 0.3%, total expense ratio being 0.35% per annum. So on a 30,000 Singapore dollars portfolio, 0.35% fee per annum will get you $105 of expense. And this is just for the year of 2024. You know, I haven't even included the years of 2023 and 2022. But keep this $105 in mind for the full year of 2024. For Poem's Cash Plus platform, you may buy the ticker S27, which is listed in the SGX stock market and available for SRS investment. Now, the S27 is the S&P 500 index ETF with an expense ratio of 0.09%. So to calculate the total expense ratio for 2024, it will just be 0.09% multiplied by $30,000, which will give you $27 expense ratio. So if you just want to compare the holding expenses, $105 in Endowus versus $27 in Poem's Cash Plus, really no fight, right? And for those of you who are asking, how about the platform fee, the dividend handling fee, all these additional and hidden fees listed on Poem's platform, isn't it going to eat away your cut? But take note that because this is an SRS investments, which means your investments are actually held in your SRS portfolio of your respective SRS bank account. So if you open a DBS SRS bank account like me, these investments will be held with DBS and not with Poems. Poems is just a broker for you to buy the shares, but it will be transferred to your SRS account. not POEMS. So no dividend handling fees and no holding fees apply. But to be clear, the dividend holding tax will still apply at 30% because this is still a US domiciled ETF, even though listed in Singapore. Then how much are the commission charges then? Because POEMS Cash Plus charges 0.08% with no minimum commission. And you will still be at the starter tier, which is below $30,000 of AUM under POEMS, because like I said, your investments are not held with POEMS, so it will not fulfill the AUM criteria. But 0.08% per annum with no minimum commission is still good, right? Of course, other SGX regulatory fees apply, and they will add up to around 0.04%, which are your trading fees, your clearing fees, and whatever, and you still have to apply GST. So for simplicity's sake, let's just add all of these fees, the commission of 0.08% plus the clearing fees, handling fees, whatever GST, and total up to 0.15% per transaction. And I know some of you, your concern is about the bid-ask spread of S27 because the trading volume is so low. But the thing is that ever since S27 has decreased their minimum lot size to 1 unit, you can just buy 1 share. You don't have to buy at least 10 shares compared to the past. And to cover the bid-ask spread, I'm going to use 0.2%, which is really quite a huge amount because you see 0.2% can be up, can be down also. So I'm going to add this 0.2% onto the total commission fees and platform fees, which is a total of 0.35%. So if you use this 0.35% commission plus handling fees plus whatever fees, and you multiply by the total number of DCA recurring investments that you do with $30,000 over a span of 2 years. And let's assume the S27 price to be $488. So if you use an exchange rate of 1.34, you get $654 per share. And at $15,000 per year, you can only buy 23 units of share. So if I just want to calculate the total commission, I'll use $654 multiplied by 23 shares per year, multiplied by 2 years, multiplied by 0.35% commission cost and other things, which gives me a total of $105. Hey, you realize this $105 is very similar to the previous number, right? $105 excess fees and hours. But there is a fundamental difference between transaction costs and recurring holding costs, because endowers is a recurring holding cost of $105 if you did not add any new investments. For POEMS, it is a transaction cost, so it's a one-time thing. And you realize that for POEMS Cash Plus, I have already accounted for the year of 2022 plus 2023, all the transaction costs being $105. So assuming I never did any new investments in 2024, this will be my total cost already, no more additional other than the expense ratio. But for endowers, just by 2024 alone, I'm already incurring $105. I haven't even included 2023 and 2022. So I did a quick calculation in my Excel file. From this Excel screenshot, you can see that year 1 fees is total to $28, and then year 2 2023 total fees is around $81, and year 3 $105. So if we add up the total, it is $214. You compare that to POEMS $105, is a very huge difference. And this is already assuming that your portfolio is not going to increase. What if your portfolio increase further? Then the holding cost for the total expense ratio of a digital advisor like Endowers goes even larger, because your portfolio value goes up, right? Your expense ratio also goes up. But for one-time transaction costs like POEMS Cash Plus, it's a one-time fee, and you roughly pay around the same fee per transaction. So if you understand the marketing and the mechanics behind this, you will realize that recurring fees are kind of more profitable, especially if your portfolio is larger and for the long term, rather than one-time costs. Because one-time costs, they can only earn you one time, but recurring, they can earn you from many years ahead, especially if the fee structure is based on assets under management. The more assets you have, the bigger portfolio value you have, the happier the platform is, because they can earn a larger chunk of the expense. But I'm sure some of you still do not understand, so you come and join us at over 13,000 members Telegram group to ask your questions, because my calculations may be wrong also. So join us at Honey Money SG. So what I can conclude from this observation is that in the short term, yes, recurring fee will be cheaper because your AUM is small, your portfolio is small, the fees that they collect from you is really minute compared to those one-time transaction costs. But if you were to invest for the long term, if you keep adding into your portfolio, one day you realize that this recurring fee structure based on your AUM is going to eat up a huge expense, and it may not be as cheap as you think, especially if you stop contributing to SRS. The one-time transaction cost will stop, but your recurring fees for the expense ratio for holding will still continue to incur, like they're $105 every year. So in summary, I already presented my findings and my observations and my theory, okay? But you use what you prefer, don't need to argue. If you like Endowers, you use Endowers. If you like POEMS, use POEMS. But most importantly, you use my referral links to sign up to get the welcome rewards first. Then you start to choose. Like I said, this is really optimized for SRS, but what about CPF? Because CPF is another thing, right? There are some products that can use for CPF, some products cannot use for CPF. How to decide then? Then I can refer you to my CPF investment video right here.